be ready at, you're on time. So
I'm aware it's 6 o'clock.
Touchy.
Since Tarek's yelling at me, we'll call our meeting to order.
Such a busy
I
school.
pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I don't have any special activity reports to keep Captain Punctual to my left happy. We're going down to the Capitol on Wednesday. We just had our working session last week that so one of us couldn't make it to, and then somebody else was gone for unknown reasons.
Gone where?
Home.
I was just sitting on my couch.
I know. No, it's all good. So that's all I have, and that's it for me. Paul?
Just a working session on Wednesday.
Okay, Megan?
I could not make it to the working session, unfortunately, so I do not have anything.
Okay. Oh, I did stop, I think we had the open house for the library in between the
Oh,
two
yes,
meetings,
that's
so
right.
had that. There weren't a ton of people here when I was able to swing in, but there were a dozen or so. Overall, very positive feedback, and I know we've got some concerns amongst the community and things like that, and we'll continue to have these discussions as the project moves along. Neil?
Just the working session.
Great. Donna?
Nothing to report.
All right. Department heads. Dan, how are things in Public Works?
I went to rural water school last week. It's always a good school to go to, see the vendors and meet old contacts and visit and see how things are going on around the rest of the state. And the guys and I, we've got the blower back on the tractor, so that's ready to go for whatever comes this week. Keeping our eyes out. March is still not over yet, so sounds like the end of the week we might potentially have something coming in. So all our equipment is up and ready to go. We're working on that. And we're starting to rearrange our shop so we can, once snow is over, move into the next season and get those things ready. So we're starting to prep the mowers for the next go around. And kind of just starting to make that transition from one season to another.
Okay. I don't know that there's anything to follow up on, but there was a post on the Devil's Playground over the weekend about an alleyway. Anyone contact you about that?
I spoke to that person, and that is an unimproved alley.
Okay.
So I said that's not one we maintain. I suggested talking to their neighbors and then put a sign on the end of each end of the alley to their neighbors to please stay out of the alley until it dries up.
Okay, works for me. Any other questions for Dan? Thank you. Paul, you're here, so I'm going to ask you to give a report because I know you've got at least a new toy to talk about.
New squad's in, graphics are finally on it. We did change up the graphics. So we'll be seeing that around. Right now it's still not on the road. We're putting some non-hard miles on it right now. So, other than that, not much new from the last meeting.
Okay. Mark?
All right, not much, but library open house. I think that went well. We had, between the people coming in and coming out, about 40 people. We also had the council working session, as you mentioned, and I also just got word, been working with Zeph Energy, and they received a grant to install an electric charging station in Painesville. And I think we talked about installing one here in City Hall, so we'll work out the details over the next couple of days. To my knowledge, the grant should cover the entire cost of it, but if there are some costs, they'll be pretty minimal, I think. So I'm hoping that it costs nothing, but we'll see.
Okay. All right, any questions for Tark? Right, anybody here for the open forum? Right, moving on then to the consent agenda, the minutes on page 1, vouchers on page 2 totaling $252,246.95. Is there a motion to approve, or would anybody like something pulled?
I'll move to approve.
Motion by Brick, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Thielen, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, none, motion carries. Okay, we had to cancel our retreat. My apologies for that. It was my fault. I got scheduled for a court hearing that came up after we set this, and I could not move around because of the nature of the hearing. So we've got some potential dates on here that we can look at. Megan, I can't remember which day you said works best for you.
Usually Thursdays are good, but I can figure out something on any day pretty much. But I guess my preference would be Thursday, but
I can do Thursday at 10:30. I couldn't do 9 a.m.
just check out my calendar quick.
I'm open for any time.
It's good with you.
Neil, Donna?
What page are those dates on? I'm just,
3.
page 3, how did I miss that? Step thinking. Oh. Tuesday, 17th?
That's no good for me.
No.
Neil, haven't heard from you.
I'm pretty much open.
Okay.
How about Friday, the 20th?
It would work.
Thursday's no good for you?
Thursday could work, Thursday the 19th.
Thursday, 10:30 to 1 works?
Works for me.
10:30 to 1 on the 19th.
Okay, so Thursday, the 19th, 10:30 to 1 works for everyone. Is there a motion on that?
So
10:30?
Yep, I can't be available before that. I think we'll be okay. And if we go late and people have time, we'll stay, and if we need to reschedule or set a continued one, we can at that time.
Well, I'll make that motion then.
We've got a motion by Hersberg to set a special council meeting retreat for March 19th at 10:30 here in the City Hall chambers. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Breck. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None? Motion carries. All right. Now, Chuck, on the trail extension and the grant application.
Yes, this is for segment one of the Glacier Lakes Trail Extension. Just as the council may recall, segment one is the portion of the trail that extends along Highway 55 from Burr Street out to County Road 130. This is the segment that we obtained transportation alternatives funding for previously in the amount of $440,000 for the year 2027. The goal is to help offset those federal costs with the state grant from the DNR. So in your packet is some information, a resolution and letter of support regarding pursuing $205,000 through the DNR Regional Trail Fund. Once again, to help match those federal funds. That leaves approximately about a $60,000 local match for the project. In addition, there'll be another segment 3, which is north of 185th Street that we'll want to pursue funding for probably through the Active Transportation Project during their next solicitation. So, in addition to the grant, like as I mentioned, there is a letter of support and a resolution in the packet. In addition, with the federal funding, with the time requirements associated with the design and completing an environmental review, there is a letter in there as well regarding the design portion of the project to do the survey, meet all the requirements of the Transportation Alternatives Program, do the environmental review process, then the final construction plans, and then get it through the federal and state aid approval process. We'd be looking to move forward with that at this point in time as well, so.
Because that account is in the negative, and do we know by how much, Tarek?
About 11,000, I think.
So it's about $11,000 negative now. Is this something we can put off until there's money in the account to pay for it? Or is that funding going to expire?
There's certain timeframes we'd have to meet. I mean, we can wait a little time. We have to have that environmental review document in by the end of, I think it's December of this year, which means we have to have the alignment and a considerable amount of the design work done ahead of that.
could we borrow from reserves and pay back?
If it's short term, yeah.
You know, kind of like we're doing for the shelter at Amby Park?
How short-term?
Well, that's 10 year.
So also on here, a couple pages down is another request coming from the Trail CIP. So if we're gonna be moving forward, we have to look at both of them too, if we're already negative.
Well, that's what I'm getting at, is so, I mean,
How much goes in that fund every year?
that's what I was gonna try and pull up with the budget here.
20?
Chuck, is the grant that we're applying for here pretty much a sure bet?
All
I
right,
don't know that I ever call any grant a sure.
Right.
I mean, we have been successful with this program and utilizing it to match the federal funds. I think this project's looked at favorably by the state with some other, we've already secured a couple grants for these segments. Segment 2 received a substantial grant as well, so it seems to be looked at favorably by the funding groups.
Because I don't want to spend 60,000 on design only to learn that we're not going to get the other 200 we need.
The goal, the timing with the DNR funds would allow us, for some reason, if we're not successful this year, we'd be able to apply for it again next year, before we would start the construction of the 27 trail project. So the timing is we'd utilize these two chances to grab the DNR funds.
Hey, Sean,
Paul?
this might not be popular, but what about borrowing from the AMPI excess fees?
I knew that was gonna come up, that's last resort.
Well, and I'm just,
I was gonna say
it's
it.
one thing if you're using it, it's another if it's a loan, similar to talking about taking it from the reserves, that ultimately gets paid back into that fund. So it's a little bit different than before.
can we just
The money's already
take
there.
it
so-
and go from that money though? Like,
We
What
can.
at
about,
what point does it just become another general fund?
what about our tourism tax fund?
No,
That can't pay for anything but
not like this,
advertising?
pretty much.
No infrastructure.
I mean, the trail is tourism.
It is. I mean, so we could pay for a lot of fun advertising for it, but not for the trail itself.
All right, so the CIP trail is $20,000. So if we borrowed 30, it would take at least 2 years to pay it back.
We're already 11 in the holes.
Yeah, so put us down 41 and then,
Well, my question is, when we get the grant, can we offset that cost from the grant money? Or-
This additional 60 won't be able to be offset. It'll
This is our-
be part of a local match for the DNR. There still is a local match that needs to be factored in, so.
Should we just discuss this in greater detail at our next working session?
or retreat or whatever.
To get options on where to fund it?
Is there a recommendation from the trail board?
Nope.
Well, I'm on the trail board.
Yeah, the trail board
I
kind of,
would hate to see that trail held up for $30,000
Yeah,
when we can get the rest of it covered, I mean, if,
We've done the second part. It doesn't make sense for us to hold up part one.
I mean, the bridge is gonna have that section that's part of the bridge.
Yeah, this year will be
So, I mean, it only makes sense to do it.
Yeah,
I mean, like Paul said, you know, we could certainly borrow from that fund, I guess. But I'd want to make certain there was a payback. If it's 5 years, so be it.
Fair enough.
Well, I think it would make sense for us to approve the resolution and the letter of support tonight. And then Tarek, I think I'd like for you to get with Belinda and just talk about what it would look like if we did like an Ampey Park loan type of thing again. How we would best structure that. Give us some better ideas.
Yep.
And if there's,
If I remember, the AMPI Park loan was interest-free.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm not saying that we have to necessarily go that way. 'Cause
Chuck, can the funding wait until our next meeting or the meeting after?
Which part?
The 60 grand part, can that part wait?
With environmental.
Yeah, we can hold off.
Okay.
We just don't want to hold off too long, else we'll,
Right, but if we just go to our next meeting or the one after?
oh, that's fine.
Okay. All right, so does that, are we all kind of good with that? I'd entertain a motion if we are.
I'll move to approve the letter of support in Resolution 2026-07, supporting an application to the Regional Trail Grant Program through the Minnesota DNR for the Glacial Lakes Regional Trail Extension Project.
I have a motion by Brickus to part one regarding the letter of support and the resolution as stated on the action sheet. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Hersberg. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None? Motion carries. Okay. Anyone want to make a motion on part two, or are we holding that over? Going once,
Put a
going
pin.
twice. Okay. Dan, want to open up some hiring? Makes sense, let's get it done.
Yeah, with Dave retiring, Mark moved into his position and Morgan is coming back, so that leaves one part-time position open for the summer we're looking to fill.
Okay.
I'll move to start the hiring process for part-time seasonal 67-day public works maintenance worker and continue the process until a recommendation can be made to the city council.
I have a motion by Brick, as stated on the action sheet. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ally. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None? Motion carries. All right, the tax abatement, if we're all good, I'd like to table this to our next meeting. Tarek and I need to get together and talk about that, and that's my fault, not yours. So I'm hoping maybe we can do that on Wednesday when we're killing time at the Capitol.
Okay. Yeah, I got that here then.
Okay. I promised Lance that we'd talk about it, and I just haven't had the chance yet, so if good, I'd like to just bring that one back. Moving on then to the trail debris blower, page 13, under new business. Tarek, Dan, who wants to talk to us about this?
Well, I mean, we talked about it at the trail meeting, and this is something that when we talked to Hartman, he says that it will save him quite a bit of time. And I think he was, correct me on the number, Dan, 20 hours per time they use it for the trail.
Yeah, he figured he could shave off about 20 hours twice a year.
Dan, doing the math, said it'll pay for it in 2 years if that were the case. So the park board is recommending that.
Trail board.
The trail board is recommending that it's purchased and obviously split between city and township.
So I understand Tarek has reached out to Steve Lemkool to talk about sitting down and having a meeting on annexation. And the feedback from the township was that we should talk about all of our contracts again, like we did a few years ago, which I think makes sense. We should do that. My recommendation is that if we're going to be renegotiating all of the contracts, we should wait on purchasing this until that process is over with.
I agree with you.
It'll be 75-25 like it should be.
Could be different.
That's probably good. I do have a question though,
Yep.
as long as we're talking. Of that 20,000 CIP, how much do we typically pay our 50% of operational on the for the trail?
Shoot, I just closed it.
It should be half.
Because if that eats up the 20,000, we either gotta start putting more in there, or,
Well, at this point, I think we might need to, yeah.
Megan, I was going to make a joke about it being late, but I realized it's actually probably more early for you. Okay, so of the trail, last year we budgeted 20, we spent 20. Well, that was how much went into the capital improvement, so that's not necessarily how much was spent.
well, for 11 in the hole, we spent 31.
Actual costs, we have insurance and bonds, we have maintenance and repairs of grounds are at 0. We budgeted 5,200 for a contractual service, but as of October 31, nothing had been paid.
I'll pull it up here.
Well, and if we're gonna table this, we could have that information for the next,
Yeah.
because that's kind of relevant.
Because I would imagine by that point, we'd have, the audit should be done. Okay. So, I mean, that's my recommendation, is that this also be tabled until we can renegotiate all of that. Dan, are you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any opposition? All right.
No.
All right. Then Paul, you want to sell your other squad?
Please.
No?
Okay. I got garage storage for it, so I guess. But yes, now that the new Ford is in and soon to be ready to go for the road, we do not need the V6 Dodge. I did talk to, I got to talk to Dan on it just to see if, either that or it was Tarek, see if there's any use within the city for it. There didn't seem to be a consensus that anyone would actually use that within the city, whether it be the airport or otherwise, so.
I was gonna say, do we need a new courtesy car at the airport? Would this be good for that? Okay. I'm saying a no over there.
Someday we're going to, aren't we?
Yeah.
Donna will just start up an Uber.
Well, my question is, why don't we have a reserve on it, Paul?
Because I think, to me, the reserve on it's subjective. You know, it's kind of in the eye of the beholder, and, you know, if somebody thinks that car's worth $15,000 and we think it's worth 20, we're not gonna be able to sell it.
Well, what if they bid 1,000 and nobody else bids, then we sell it for 1,000?
It won't sell for 1,000, I can guarantee that, so.
I mean, we can reject any and all bids.
I don't think we can.
No, no, it's been bid.
That's why I like a reserve, because if we don't meet it,
Even something low, just so you know you have
I
that.
mean, yeah, if it's 1450, we might as well keep it for the airport.
That's ultimately a council's decision. My personal opinion is we haven't put reserves on any of the vehicles that we've sold. And I don't know that there's been a single vehicle that we haven't gotten more for than what we would have set a reserve for. Ultimately, that's the council's decision. If you want to put a reserve on it, we can certainly do that. I don't see any reason for it.
It doesn't cost anything extra, does it?
I would have to double check. I don't remember, Dan. I think you guys, do you remember? Because I think you had put a reserve on
Yeah, I put a reserve on.
one of the last ones.
It doesn't cost anything more, you just tell them.
So, and there'll be 6% plus 750, or 750 the max total?
Max total.
Max. Ain't bad.
So I don't disagree with you, Paul, on the reserve, but I'm just curious, a couple things. One is, Is this something that we could advertise to other agencies and potentially get just as much if we did it more internally? I'm seeing a head shaking no. Okay, and then as part of the reason for not wanting a reserve, just because you want this thing gone 3 weeks ago, 3 months ago, and you never want to see it again.
It's a black cloud,
I know it is.
so I'd like it gone. Regardless, if we put a reserve on it, and it doesn't sell, then we come back and we remove the reserve and it sells that time. I mean, you know, it's totally up to you guys. No, I'm not willing, you know, I think the car itself is fine for general use, but I could never put it in the hands of another agency, not with the issues that have happened.
Well, I mean, not every agency needs a pursuit vehicle, though. I mean, the BCA might need something for just,
I mean, Dodge didn't seem to mind putting it out there.
yeah, well, that was a mistake.
I'll just bite my tongue on that one.
So,
I mean, it's,
First time for
it's
everything.
it's a good vehicle. I believe personally, especially with the new engine and everything else.
Now, how much warranty is still left for the next buyer?
None.
Oh, it's out of warranty right now?
Yeah, it's got about 70, was it 74,000?
Although you could purchase a warranty.
What about the new engine? I thought it has a warranty.
a few months or a year. All right. Well, I wouldn't be opposed to some sort of reserve. I wouldn't want to go 20 or even, I'd go like 10, just to make sure we get something
I'd go
out of it.
15.
12.
Then are we gonna advertise?
12.5.
I'd like to at least advertise with instructions. You must go on mid-bid,
Right.
our city website, Devil's Playground, whatever.
God.
And I think Kristen's been pretty good about that in the past. I'm sure she'd do it again. So,
Because there may be local people that fit right into,
I'd entertain a motion on this, however we want to go.
I'll move to sell it with a reserve at 12.5.
Motion by Brick to list it on min bid with a reserve of 12,500. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ally. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None, motion carried. Great, and with that, we do have some reports at the end, some informational. We have the library report, liquor store reports. If anyone wants to go to the conference in Rochester, please let Kristen know soon so that she can get you registered and housed. And then the other thing is, Neil had brought this up, the modification of the parking violations, to maybe donate to like a good cause instead of it just funding city things. The auditors gave us a flat no, can't be done, so that's not
Okay.
going to happen.
it's being done in other cities.
I don't know.
Donation.
We can't. So. With that, we're adjourned, everyone. Thank you.